You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
All praise to Pope Leo. Let's get into it with the lead.
What? Which one?
Winning games you're not supposed to is a weird thing.
Why weren't they supposed to win? They hit the post. They hit the post twice in overtime.
Yeah, they actually know that's a good point too. Welcome into Oilers Nation every day, live from the Sports Closet studio. From jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger, you'll find it all and more at the Sports Closet. Show's also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. What are you chuckling at, Lehman?
Just Jaron, sorry.
Drops in a super chat.
Every day, and I'm very grateful, and I appreciate the donation.
All the money goes to the Ben Stelter Foundation.
Well, read your comment.
Yeah, we gloss over a lot of comments, but Duran dropped one in, $13.99. That was one of our worst games. That was one of Vegas's best. Still got the W. People said pick, scan, steal a game. Stole that one. Perfect second win, and not to get too high. Also, every forward has scored, ?
Yep.
Think so. Man, Liam, they played bad for really long stretches of that game. Vegas, that was their A stuff, and it just didn't matter. I mean, I have it on the whiteboard, Team of Destiny.
Oh.
I was texting friend of the show, Ryan Whitney, yesterday, and I was just like, man, like last year it felt like...
Hold up. You're texting Ryan Whitney. He's texting Devin Dubnyk. I text Reese during the games.
You saw Wise Kyle at the bar.
I did see Wise Kyle. Great to see you, Kyle.
Same, but different.
Glad you're doing well. I will say that.
True.
Showed us all your scars.
I refuse to look at them.
They're
gnarly.
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
that
don't
is
do
an
that.
intense.
I don't do that.
I was going to say experiment. That seems harsh.
No,
Surgery.
it's a surgery, yeah, medical.
It is technically an experiment,
Yeah, kind of.
but surgery. Either way, go on. Carry on with the real show.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That last night and what I was texting Whit about was like last year, I'm kind of like going back through their wins. And again, granted, this is like reactionary in the moment and all that. Maybe we do misremember some victories, but like it feels like every big game they won last year was like, God damn, they played really good and got the bounces. Nice work, Oilers. And this year it's like 40 minutes of chaos and playing like dog shit most of the time. And then it's like, oh shit, they won. Like it's that old meme where it's like, can't wait to watch my favorite team play. I'm going to die. Oh, nice, we won. Like that, they are really the embodiment of all of that. So, whatever. It's fun as shit to talk about.
It gives us a lot of material.
Yeah,
I will say that. Yeah, they didn't play great yesterday. I don't know if it was necessarily them playing so poorly or Vegas just pushing it so heavily.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. Like again, Vegas had an awesome bounce back game. Like. It's part of the reason I was worried going into overtime. And we'll talk about all that. We also have a couple of great guests on the show today. Shawn DePaz, you know him. You love him from What Chaos. He is taking on the role of number one Jack Eichel hater.
I'm all in.
So last night, I'm 7 beers deep. I see Shawn DePaz firing off hate tweets at Jack Eichel. I'm like, get this guy on my show. So he'll join us. Also, Dan Tencer is going to join us.
Yeah.
We've been talking to Dan about this for maybe a week now. I'm very excited.
I'm excited for it too. He has an interesting path.
Well, obviously covered the Oilers, did with 630 Ched from basically the summer of 2006 until 2013. So again, just a great time to be covering the team. People wanted to look at you while I talked.
Yeah, some people call me the young Dan Tencer.
Because you're a Scout and Oilers show host.
Yeah.
That's
the only reason. I mean, there's only two. It's the only connection we need, really.
Yeah, that's fair. But again, since he's not covered the team, first off, he's still a great follow on Twitter because he tweets his way through every single Oilers game, and I love it. But I figured a guy like that who had a microphone in front of him for most of the decade of darkness, now obviously isn't in media anymore. He works as a scout he's the director of scouting, I should say, for the Saskatoon Blades. I want to get his take on things. Yeah,
it's a cool perspective because, like you said, he's got a bit of best of both worlds. He's kind of, He is similar to what we do as well, isn't he? Like, he definitely wears his fanship on his sleeve. So, yeah he'll be a great
he
guest.
can do now because he's not in the media the way he was before. I know he worked for like a rights holder, so that is always a little bit different. But yeah, we're going to have him on at 12:45. So Shawn DePaz first and then Dan Tencer. But for now, Liam, let's do, it's becoming a hit this week in terms of our ad reads, but it's the scoring summary, and it's brought to you by the Garage Superstore.
Garage Superstore.
There we go. Garage accessories and upgrades made easy. They've got everything you need to organize, transform, and maximize your space, including 6 full-size garages at their showroom, so you can walk through real setups and see what works for you. Not just garages, not just vehicle hoists and storage racks. They also carry Traeger grills and outdoor living essentials. Shop online or in-store, 3407 Calgary Trail Northwest, South Edmonton, garagesuperstore.ca.
Oh, wow.
Let's get into this scoring summary for last night because it is a 6th straight comeback victory for the Edmonton Oilers, which I do kind of struggle calling it a comeback victory when you blow a 4-2 lead in the same game. But nonetheless, the Oilers were down 1-0 in this game, and it was once again penalty trouble that got them to this point. Adam Henrique, don't shoot the puck over the glass.
Yeah, a bit of a self-inflicted wound there, and great play by Eichel, to be fair. He was buzzing yesterday.
Nothing our boy Picks could do on that one. No. Credit Sportsnet for the highlights, by the way.
Viktor Olofsson finally living up to his expectations.
Yep. Another former Buffalo Sabre, so the Sabre connection. So it's 1-0 Vegas after the first period. Again, I thought that period was actually pretty even. I didn't feel like Edmonton was getting dominated.
No, I don't think so either. I think that came later in the game.
Yeah, it definitely came later in the game. And like just kind of looking at the numbers, the Oilers outchanced him, outshot him at 5-on-5 once again in the first period. It very much just felt like game one to me. So I wasn't worried at all. I'm like, oh, the Oilers are going to have a little run here where they start to dominate this hockey game. And like Vegas threw their best punch early on. I was relatively confident that the second and third period were going to be all Oilers. Mm-hmm. The second period was Jake Wallman, first of the playoffs for Jake Wallman as he hammers one, I believe, off the knee of Braden McNabb and into the back of the net. Take a look at number 92 there, making a great little heady pass across, gets it back, puts it on a tee for Jake Wallman. Vasily Podkolzin, first of 2 points in that period. He is now, again, we can show his goal because he makes it 2-1. He's 4th in the playoffs in points per 60.
He's done really, really well. And what's he playing? Maybe 10 minutes a night at most, I would think.
9:46.
There you go, 9:46.
6 points in 8 games.
It's what you need. And you obviously have to sit there and wonder, like, is it sustainable? No. I mean, it's just not, to be frank, and it's unfortunate, but it's the reality of it. But it doesn't matter. It's game by game, and you've just got to win them one at a time. And he played so great yesterday. He's played great all season. Like, I know we wanted to see more goals, and really he is the Holloway replacement, if you want to call it, based off like the value and everything. But the Oilers have got a lot out of Podkolzin, and now he's down on the 4th line. And I think everyone thought he was going to be this kind of like big, mean player after what he did to Jeremy Lauzon, but he's got a ton of skill. He went 10th overall for a reason. Yeah. And he's a great skater.
This from Gregor. Podkolzin now has 6 points in 8 playoff games. He's averaging 9:46 time on ice per game, yet he is among the top 20 forwards in even strength points. He's given the Oilers incredible production in limited minutes, and his on-ice numbers at 5-on-5 are great. Shots are 40-22, goals are 5-1. And you kind of said, like, is it sustainable? No. But the whole point of having, like, quality depth in your lineup is, like, guys just step up at different points. Yeah. It's Connor Brown one game. Trent Frederick in game 6 against the Kings scores a massive goal. Podkolzin last night, they don't win that game if it's not for him. And just like different pieces step up. And it's not like in years past where it's like, well, good God, I hope Connor and Leon put up 3 points and we get 1 goal from our bottom 6 so we can win this thing. Like, you're getting goals from everybody. So the fact the Oilers were eventually up 3-1 in that hockey game without Connor or Leon really being on the ice for a single goal, although I do think Leon was low-key robbed of a point on the Darnell Nurse goal.
I definitely agree.
Why did he not get an assist? I mean, we can watch it here.
Also, there's something else I have to bring up on this goal too.
All right.
This was definitely too many men.
Yep, this was too many men. Missed call, but luckily the refs were pretty good from then on out. But like Draisaitl forced that turnover and got a piece of it. Either way, when you watch the Podkolzin goal, you see Aiden Hill kind of like tap his glove against himself, being like, man, I should have had that. I actually think Adin Hill was in it. I think the Oilers were in his head thinking that they have the glove side beat.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually why this goal goes in. Look how far to his glove side he is.
Yeah, he overcommitted. Yeah,
He's
that's a good
so
point.
overcommitted. It's crazy. So, again, the Oilers were just, for lack of a better phrase, they were picking him apart in this second period with these shots from distance. And, again, why Leon Draisaitl didn't get a point on this, rather confusing. But, anyways.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Look at where he's standing.
It's interesting, too, the difference between Kemper and now Adin Hill. Because with Kemper, like, I know we kind of joked, like, he can't catch the puck. But, like, when you were getting in tight on him, you were scoring a lot of goals. Now, with Kemper, it's kind of like, you almost want to shoot from range. You don't really want to get in too close on him, it feels like.
All right.
You're telling me I missed Borgie's bankroll 3 for 3. All I needed was 2 Leon points. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Till right now.
I noticed after as well. I missed something on that.
Strongly worded letter going to bet 365.
All right.
And the NHL.
And the NHL.
The Oilers go up 3-1. And, again, they have this fucking tendency to score goals and then be like, well, we forget how to play hockey.
Well done, everyone. We won.
Yep. Good work, boys. William
to 3.
Karlsson finds the back of the net. Jack Eichel gets another assist on this one, by the way. But, like, again, I guess as a power play expires, sure. Wait, no, that's a glitch. That was definitely not a power play. Also, this was nowhere close to a high stick. But, yeah, the Oilers just kind of forget how to play hockey for a little bit. And boom, back of the net. Like, it's just unfortunate timing. You'd like to see them really clean up in the final 2 minutes here and, like, recognize, because they are so good at limiting the Golden Knights, recognize a little bit like, okay, there's 2 minutes left. We're up 3-1. Do everything you can to just get possession of the puck and burn the rest of this clock. And I just felt like they were a little bit sloppy in that final little stretch. So it's 3-2. It goes to the third. And then, again, you want to talk team of destiny. How this Evander Kane goal goes in makes no sense to me. It, like, hits Adin Hill's stick while Adin Hill's stick is in the air. Like, he's not even holding on to it. I guess positive point, this second line just continues to be very, very good. And Evander Kane has his third of the postseason. Hyman and Nuge pick up apples. 2 assists for Nuge, by the way, in this hockey game. But just good work on the forecheck here, kind of pressuring Vegas, being hard on the puck, which this second line does really, really well. And then, again, they have skill even when they load up 97 and 29. So it's a good goal.
Yeah, great goal. And obviously, Evander Kane, what's that? I think now his 5th point since coming back from his season-long injury. And a lot of question marks on what he was going to be like, but obviously he's proven everybody wrong. And if you were one of those people who thought he was going to come back and do this, credit to you, but I think there was very few of you. But he's just found a way to be very impactful on a night-to-night basis. And, you know, it's fantastic to see. Is what this team has clearly been missing all season, is someone like him.
So it's 4-2, and then basically from this point till the end of regulation, it was all Golden Knights.
Oh, yeah.
They just pumped the Oilers. And, I mean, Calvin Pickard was unbelievable in the second period as well. He made some massive stops in the third period. This isn't maybe one of those prime arguments of, like, why save percentage isn't always the best stat to just blindly look at.
I've been saying this for years.
He was so good, and it's just like eventually they're going to score. So Olofsson makes it 4-3, and then Pietrangelo ties it on the shot from the blue line. I mean, Vegas definitely seemed to clue into, like, oh, if we just throw enough pucks on net here, we're eventually going to get goals against this Oilers team and against Calvin Pickard, which, again, I don't mean to be slagging on Calvin Pickard in a game where he played as well as he did, but I feel like it took till this third period for Vegas to be like, oh, yeah, volume game. We don't need a grade A shot to beat Calvin Pickard. We just need to get enough production, or we need to get enough funnel towards the net, and eventually things will go our way.
Yeah, totally. And I think you could say the same a bit about Hill as well.
Yeah.
Like, the more you kind of get on him high, especially the better chances you have. But the power play goal, again, that's just a great play by Jack Eichel. This one, obviously, moments before, Calvin Pickard looked to be hurt.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just go down, man.
To get the stoppage, especially when your team's kind of reeling.
Yeah, like, kind of manage the game a little bit here. I think his playoff inexperience kicked in a little bit. I know he's been around the block quite a bit, but I would have liked to have seen him just get a bit of treatment. And look, like, he obviously ended up being fine, and he would have stayed in the game. And, like, people were saying, like, oh, I wonder if he was worried that, like, they would put Skinner. It's like, buddy, they do not want to play Stuart Skinner right now. It's very clear. You are the guy. So
when the trainer comes over, you just tell him, like, no, I'm fine. I'm just giving us a breather.
Yeah, exactly. You do. He did it with his glove in overtime, or maybe it was whenever that was. Like, I would have liked to have seen him a bit of gamesmanship there.
All right, we're going to get to Shawn in a minute. But first, we got to wrap up the scoring summary with the overtime winner. I thought Zach Hyman scored. We low-key kind of got cucked on that one because everybody celebrated. And then on this one, in Greta, I wasn't convinced this went in.
I thought he missed
None of us were convinced this went in.
I thought he missed as well. My dad put out a tweet saying, anyone else think that hit the post? The way the puck just bounced all the way out was...
the celebration was confusing.
Yeah, everything about it.
Who did McDavid walk around there? Good Lord.
Oh, Jack.
Surely that's not the guy who everyone's like, oh, he's so good defensively and all that, right?
Couldn't be. It must have been Caden Kozak.
Had to have been someone like Caden Kozak. Whoop. Slippery. All right. Well, on that note, Star Mechanical guest line.
Look at this photo.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Isn't it lovely? What do the kids say? Hang it in the Louvre.
Louvre, yep. That's definitely how that goes.
Look at Darnell on the side, too.
Do you know at Rogers Place, they have those pictures around the rink? Mm-hmm. We got to get some updated ones. This is probably one you want to throw up there.
I'm in on that. All right. Star Mechanical guest line, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. Residential, commercial, 24/7 emergency service. They do it all. They do it well, and they've been doing it for more than 20 years. On the heels of watching Jack Eichel, as Shawn said, get dog-walked by Connor McDavid, we welcome in Shawn DePaz. Shawn, is being #1 Jack Eichel hater getting you on the Oilers bandwagon?
A little bit. It's not even really about Jack Eichel or the Oilers. It's about the fact that the best player in the world dog-walked the player drafted immediately behind him, and then Vegas fans wanted to get upset about it. So it's really more of a crusade against Vegas Golden Knights fans more than anything. And if that endears me to the Oilers fan base and you guys, then so be it.
That'll bring anybody together.
Lots of people in my mentions this morning, but Eichel isn't a D-man. He's a forward. I mean, he's also a forward who everyone loves to heap praise onto for being elite defensively, which is another layer of all this. Like, yes, Connor McDavid can do that to the best of the best, but, I mean, you were in your bag with this work, Shawn.
Yeah, and I mean, I said to Pete and DJ at a point, like, if you put me out there on skates, it's going to look even worse. But that doesn't change. I've never played hockey. That doesn't change the fact that it's embarrassing. Like, Jack Eichel is very good at hockey. I think he's one of the best players in the league. He's going to get Hart votes. He could win a Hart at some point in his career. He's going to be a 100-point player. All of that's fine. Very good at hockey. But at the end of the day, and he was maybe the best player in that entire game yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, better than McDavid and Draisaitl, that's for sure. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, last play of the game, you got embarrassed by the greatest player in the world. Happens to the best of them. But it happens. And Vegas fans want to deny it, and that's what got me going.
I think important to note, very good player, but not good enough, clearly.
No. Yeah, and like people are being like, you should play the body. It's same thing's going to happen. It's Connor McDavid. It's a forward skating backwards, flat-footed. I get why it happened. I don't think it's a referendum on how good of a hockey player Jack Eichel is, but it did happen, and it was fun.
I wanted to ask you about the What Chaos Overtime streams, because they are some of the best pieces of material on the internet. How did this happen?
Like the concept of the stream?
Yeah, like what? It's amazing.
I don't really know. Like either DJ or Pete would have thought of it last year. We did it. It just kind of evolved into a thing where we hard stop at the second the goal is scored. It's created some fun moments, especially because none of us are sunk up on the stream, so we're all reacting at different times. But it's kind of evolved organically, I guess.
Yeah, so you guys go live for every OT. I mean, like last night, it was like 1:30 in the morning Eastern time. Yeah. Like, is there not a point? Like, has anyone been sleeping for the start? Like, how are you not sleeping is my point.
We stay up because we like hockey. Especially DJ's an oil man. Of course we're going to stay up. I think we missed one overtime this postseason. It was like a Saturday afternoon in a series we didn't really care about.
Probably Carolina, New Jersey, I would guess.
Yeah, probably. Other than that, we're live for every overtime, regardless of the time.
And yeah, the whole like hard stop right after, you guys are never synced up, which is great as well, because there was the one OT winner last year where you were definitely ahead of DJ and the look of like disgust on your face being like, these motherfuckers did it again, and then waiting for DJ to go nuts. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I guess now I'm here rooting for the Oilers because I didn't care about this series. I'm a Sabres fan. Nobody is gonna like hurt my feelings if they win, except for maybe the Maple Leafs. But now I hate the Vegas Golden Knights, and their fans are to blame for it.
Again, your guys show What Chaos. If people haven't seen it, we'll put the link to the YouTube in the description here. The idea of, and I always like to think of like, what's the most chaotic outcome for this season in the NHL? Edmonton, Toronto is the answer I keep going to. But for you guys, obviously being a show like out of Boston, an American audience, all of that, like, do you agree with that? Or do you think it would be like bad for the league if it was 2 Canadian teams in the final? Do you kind of get what I'm asking?
Yeah, maybe not the best thing for the league from a pure like market perspective, but I mean, we had ESPN's John Butcher-Grosh on the show a while ago, and this question was asked, and he said, "Cover your ears, Oilers fans. Austin Matthews winning the cup in Edmonton would be the most chaotic possible outcome," and it's hard to disagree with that. Again, I don't know, maybe not great for American TV ratings, but I think it's probably good for the sport for Canada to like get a cup at some point soon. They clearly care about the sport more than we do in the States.
I do, like, I agree, and I saw like the TV market size and things like that, but I'm like, I still feel like from a superstar perspective of like McDavid versus Matthews, that would be infinitely better than Dallas, Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, there is a world though where we get Dallas, Carolina.
Yeah, and those teams are amazing. They have stars. Mikko Rantanen's obviously a great story and all that, but like, do hockey fans at large really want to see a Carolina Hurricanes Dallas Stars final? Probably not, right? Like, I think we would all probably rather see Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl face off against Austin Matthews and company. Like, as far as, like you said, star power goes, I don't think anything really comes close to that. And it's just like the Oilers are the most chaotic team in hockey. The Leafs always just do some shit in the postseason that's funny to laugh at. Like, you're guaranteed to have something crazy happen in that Stanley Cup final. I don't know who wins it. I don't know if it ends in 4, if it ends in 7, but it's going to be crazy regardless.
What do you think the most annoying storyline is in the playoffs right now?
Like, every game, we did this yesterday on the show, everyone's always bitching about the refs, being like, this year the officiating's worse than it's ever been. But then it's kind of like, no, I feel like we maybe do this every year. But there's always these just mind-numbing, annoying storylines that come out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not like a huge complainer when it comes to reffing. Obviously, it's been pretty bad, and you saw it firsthand to the benefit of the Oilers, but still last night with the missed tripping call. Most annoying storyline, I mean, it's not really a storyline. I want Jeff Skinner to play hockey. The annoying storyline is Jeff Skinner being held prisoner by Chris Knobloch. I'm at like getting to the point where I'm a little over the Mikko Rantanen thing. Like, it's awesome to see him be awesome, but like, we get it. I think the big takeaway is the same thing with Brad Marchand in Florida. Like, all these people were acting like they were terrible players all of a sudden. It's like maybe they were just struggling to get used to their new environment, and now that they're in the playoffs, they're great players. I get it. I'm a little over it, but it is what it is.
The thing with Rantanen that's kind of funny to me is everyone, because of the last 3 games, like literally only the last 3 games, is ready to just kill the Colorado Avalanche for this. And it's like, man, for the last 6-7 weeks, we've been sitting here being like, boy, did the Avs ever do something? Look at that. They got the cheaper player. Nate just was on a run. Like, it is kind of annoying how that whole narrative flipped as quickly as it did, because it's like he had 3 good games. Like, again, a month ago, everyone was like, man, is Rantanen, McKinnon, Merchant doing all that shit?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of revisionist history because, like, I think when all of this went down, like for the Avs in particular, everyone was praising how good the moves were, and obviously they didn't pan out all that well. And losing a guy like Mikko Rantanen is never like the good move. But yeah, I think people are reactionary in sports. Obviously, if Mikko Rantanen has 4 straight games where he doesn't put up points, they're going to go back talking about how bad he is. It's the name of the game. But ultimately, like, same thing with McDavid. You guys know first, like, none of it matters if you don't win the cup. So talk to me when that happens. If he wins a Conn Smythe, they win the cup, that's a different story.
The one I hate the most, and it's something that happened, just the idea that people are being like, well, Hellebuck can't play anymore. It's like, are we really? Like, we're really going to go trust Eric Comrie to win the Winnipeg Jets a playoff game? Like, come on, that's so dumb. People aren't thinking.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is like, it's looked pretty bad at points. Cannot
100%.
deny that part. Like, it's not been great, and then as an American, don't feel great about what the Olympics look like next year. I think you got to play Jake Ottinger at this point, to be quite honest, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, they advanced through the first round. It's fine. Like, we've seen teams win cups with mediocre goaltending. And quite frankly, if the Oilers do it, they probably do it with mediocre goaltending. Calvin Pickard's been good, but not great. Better than Hellebuyck, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, I just don't really buy too much into like postseason narratives. Like it's hard to win games. It's hard to be good in the postseason. It is what it is.
You're getting everybody's, for the most part, like fastballs, A+ stuff, game after game, a 7-game series. You can expose matchups, all of that stuff. Who's more fucked? We'll let you go on this one. The Panthers or the Golden Knights?
I feel like it's the Golden Knights because the Panthers are adults and they're playing a bunch of historically children. Maybe the Maple Leafs have hit puberty in the last calendar year, but until they prove me otherwise, they're still likely to be assholes. It just seems like everything is going the Oilers' way at this point. Even when the Oilers aren't playing great hockey, they win games. I know you got the sign there. It kind of feels like they're the team of destiny right now. I have said that about the Leafs also. I think there's a pretty good chance, we talked about it on today's episode of What Chaos, that we see these two teams play each other in the Cup. But it's hard for me to ever lock in a Leafs win until they've won the 4 games.
Yeah, I really struggled doing like a whole Leafs have matured or hit puberty, as you so eloquently said, because we did this when they were up 2-0 and 3-0 against Ottawa. We were like, I did it. I was like, look how mature. What a performance by the Leafs, the start. And then they get too high on themselves and absolutely crumble. And also, like, Vegas has to roll into Edmonton now. Florida's going back home. You're never in trouble till you lose at home is always the big thing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't think either like have won the series. If we're sitting here 2 weeks from now and the Panthers and Vegas Golden Knights have advanced, I'm not going to be entirely surprised. But yeah, if you're asking me which one I think is more likely, I think it's more likely the Panthers managed to beat the Leafs 4 times in this series.
Shawn DePaz, What Chaos. Find him on YouTube. Find him wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you, Shawn.
Bye, Shawn.
Thank you.
That's great stuff. Mixing a little Jack Eichel hate. Shawn on the Star Mechanical guest line. His appearance was also brought to you by Budweiser, Liam. Budweiser is bringing back the City of Champions spirit. Look at that beautiful can. By partnering with Mark Messier, they're reminding everyone why Edmonton was the City of Champions. Yes. Oh. Whoa. Oh. These beautiful, unique cans are available in Edmonton now, and they also got one of the OG City of Champions signs back at the brewery to do the commercial with Mark Messier. I saw it in person. It was awesome. So I love that Budweiser is, again, it's been brewed in Edmonton for 45 years, so it makes sense. Liam, this is wildly impressive. Shout out to our friends at Budweiser. Find one of these limited edition cans
How long
in
can
the
you
city
go?
of Edmonton. You could probably go. You have a flat top.
What does that mean?
Flat top of your head?
Put another one on.
No.
Do it.
Reese, go put another one on.
Oh, also, Reese, if you're coming over here, grab my water bottle out of my
Can
bag.
you fill up a cup for me as well, Reese?
All we have is wine glasses. I'll give him a wine glass, actually. We'll be fancy. We're up 2-0 in the series.
Lay it on.
All right. Shout out to our friends at Budweiser. Shout out to Shawn. Shout out to the What Chaos boys.
Thank you, Reese.
Yeah, just on the side pouch, Reese. Don't go through my stuff. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. All right. I am a little.
Reese, I have an empty. Thanks, Reese.
He's not an intern anymore.
All right. Shawn was awesome. Let's get to a Sherwood Ford Giant question brought to you by Nation Valet Service. Our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant want to make sure you never have to visit the dealership again for your routine car maintenance. Don't have to have got your vehicle at Sherwood Ford. Doesn't even have to be a Ford. If it's routine maintenance, you can bring it to Sherwood Ford and use the Nation Valet Service. They come pick up your vehicle, drive it in, do the work, drive it right on back to you. Your Sherwood Ford Giant question. Liam.
Is it what I
Nick,
said?
No, I'm not going to ask you if Vegas Golden Knights fans are big babies. I'm going to ask you, do you think Nicholas Waugh deserves to be suspended?
Yeah, I do. I think he deserves 1 game. And I think it should be nothing more, nothing less. I think even if there was a regular season game, he should probably get 1. I mean, he crushed the guy in the head.
Do we have the clip? Okay.
It was, I don't think it was an intent to injure. I think he was trying to hit him in the chest, and he just got caught in the moment. It was a bit of a bang-bang play, but yeah, I think 1 game is fine. And I think the 5-minute major was fully warranted for what he did. And unfortunately, the Oilers obviously couldn't capitalize on it, but the refs made the right call. You know, he shouldn't have got one. Arvidsson.
Yeah, Arvidsson definitely, okay, well, let's watch this. It's a bad play. I'm going to say he doesn't get suspended. He gets the max fine. To me, it's not like a reactionary thing. It's not like they were battling and then Waugh in like a fit of rage hit him in the face. There is a case to be made that he's like, I saw the puck float up in the air and I wanted to knock it down. I just did it in the dumbest possible way. Like the puck is up there somewhere, right?
I've never seen anyone knock down a puck like that.
Yeah, no, again, very, very stupid.
But it happens so fast. It's that much time.
I just think the way the refs reviewed it so quickly too, that it's just so obvious that it's obviously a cross check to the head. And I think too, like, I think it just has to be one game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not, and I also wouldn't be that upset if he doesn't suspended for the game. The Oilers had an opportunity in overtime to win the game, and they couldn't do it. But I don't know. I just think like that's not a hockey play.
Yeah, you also do see those, like the puck's up, and you do see Frederick's hands start to go up. Then, as someone points out in the chat here, Reichno, they're like, look, you can see Frederick almost go up to do it too. So that's maybe a part of Waugh's defense here, is that like I saw his hands go up, so I put my hands up too, and the puck was up there. Like, I don't know. To me, was this malicious? No. It's just very, very stupid, and he did get a 5-minute major for it, which I think will go into the calculation. Like, we know the NHL has a weird little scale of like what's a playoff suspension worth to a regular season suspension, but also like what's a 5-minute major and overtime worth in that whole calculation.
Yeah, totally. Rules analyst is in.
Yeah, my cousin Josh.
I don't think he misses a game. Max fine. NHL will view him missing the last bit of the game as his punishment. Can't deny the major call simply on severity on the impact of the check.
Yeah.
There you go. Decision's in.
There you go. No suspension from our... what do they say at election time? Oilersnation Everyday is projecting no suspension for Nicholas Waugh. Also...
was he given a misconduct or no?
He was kicked out, yeah.
Oh, really? Because I thought...
Five in a misconduct.
I thought that was a a 1-game suspension, or was that a match? I thought it was an automatic 1-game suspension.
No clue what you're talking about.
Yeah. Josh?
Yeah. I will get an answer to it right away. There you go. That's your short for giant question. I'm going to say no. Doesn't get suspended. Liam's going to say one game.
I'm going to say no.
And you're going to say no too.
Like to
Reese, what are you going to say? I think it'll be 1. Okay, Reese is 1 game.
Reese said 2.
Reese, they're not going to give him the rest of the playoffs.
Reese.
Jesus, Reese.
Jail? Whoa.
Assault.
Salt.
Frederick should call that guy who's in the penalty boxes.
The lawyer?
The injury lawyer that's blasted all over Vegas.
Yeah.
Matches are 1 game. Okay, I got it wrong. Thanks, Josh.
I made a poll, 57% 1 game.
Yep. All right. Well, and our chat's not biased.
Never.
Let's talk about Arvidsson.
Yes, let's talk about that missed call a little bit. I understand why Golden Knights fans are angry about this.
I would too. And there was one thing, and I'm sure everyone saw the clips yesterday, the clippings, I should say, of Stone and Bruce Cassidy.
Yeah.
I think those comments were taken out of context a little bit.
They read harsher than they sound is kind of what you told me earlier.
That's a good way to put it. So like, I watched them, and both of them are just like, yeah, it was a missed call. Mm-hmm. And I think in the moment, Stone, you could see on the ice, was more frustrated with the officials, and rightfully so. It's a clear missed call. But yeah, both of them were just like, yeah, it's a missed call. Like, that has to be called in the game, but like, it is what it is. We have to move on from this. Like, we'll be fine. And they were more worried about like McNabb not being available, which I think someone just put in that MD put in the chat there too, which I agree with. They called the play dirty. I don't think they're calling Arvidsson a dirty player. No. By any means. I don't think Arvidsson tried to do that. The puck is clearly right in front of Brady McNabb, and his stick just got caught up in him. It's an unfortunate play.
I mean, the fact we even needed clarification on whether or not he was getting a hearing today was like, you don't get suspended. You get suspended for slew foots. You don't get suspended for tripping a guy with your stick.
Especially when your stick is in front of the guy.
Yeah. Again, it was an egregious missed call. But I would also add that if there's any fan base that probably shouldn't be crying about treatment and officials, it's the one who set an NHL record for being the least penalized team this year.
Yeah, which was remarkable. I agreed. 100% a penalty.
Yeah.
The official probably should have seen it. You can see him in the shot there.
Yeah.
Maybe the net got in the way, which, I mean, you could kind of see it where the official comes into the picture. I I don't know. I would also just like to point out, I said off the top of the show, it's a sports analyst here that reminded me. They were talking about how fortunate the Oilers were to win this game. The Oilers hit the crossbar and post twice in overtime.
Yeah,
Before this happened.
Hey, welcome back to the series, Alex Pietrangelo. I know he tied the game with that floater from the blue line. God damn, he did his best to get out of there.
Oh, yeah. He had plans.
Tickets to a show or something. The giveaway to Zach Hyman at the end of the 5-minute major was just absolutely horrendous. And then Hyman mouth guard out. Evander Kane's like, hell yeah, game over. And it's like, Vegas is going back the other way. I was, though, in fairness, because, again, didn't have a great view of it on the broadcast, or you never quite know on those ones on the broadcast. I was waiting for that buzzer to go.
Oh,
I was like, I bet you this one's in. It wasn't in.
No, I can see why Kane thought it might have gone in from where he was. But, yeah, I can, again, understand why fans would be upset in Vegas.
Yep.
I don't think the refs were that bad yesterday. Like the Bouchard one, probably you want to see that go the Oilers' way. The ref that called it, I can see why he called it on Bouchard. I don't know. I'm trying to get a better understanding of the officials without sitting here every day being like, this guy sucks, because they all suck and they're all bad at their jobs. But like, trying to get a better vantage point on things. I don't know. Bad missed call. They missed it.
It's a missed call. And like, that's the other thing too, is like, missed calls happen everywhere. And I saw someone on Twitter, I forget who it was like, that was a perfect opportunity for them to make up for the 5-minute major. And it's like, what are you talking about? He cross-checked a guy in the head.
Yeah.
They reviewed it.
So I saw that too, and I'm just like, what do you mean make up? Like, the refs didn't find a call to even things out. Nicholas Waugh cross-checked Trent Frederick in the teeth, for Christ's sake. He was bleeding on the ice. He was bleeding blood.
They made him bleed his own blood.
Bleeding his own blood. My voice. Where's my voice?
Yeah, I just, I couldn't believe some of the narratives around it. It's like, okay, bad missed call, obviously at a bad time. But like, it's not like Arvidsson tripped him, pulled the puck out, and while all the Golden Knights players were like, our guys hurt, Arvidsson went and scored. That would be different.
Totally. And also, too, the Oilers had the puck in that moment, and the refs blew it dead.
Yeah, correct.
Which, I mean...
Granted, McNabb was hurt.
Yeah, I don't... You obviously don't want to see plays.
But do you remember that?
I'm pretty sure, like, if he had passed the puck across the Oilers and scored, that would have sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just felt like they shouldn't have done that too. But McNabb immediately got up as well and played. Like, that'll be a huge loss for them if he can't go.
Oh, yeah.
Like, huge loss. Like, Pietrangelo is one thing, but he's just like a different kind of player for them.
Yep.
So... yeah, like, that'd be crazy. If he's out, Waz out, like, is that, again, another, Dorofeyev, do we actually know what he's wrong with him?
No. He's traveling.
Okay. Come on, guys, talk about Hurdle.
He's going to try this on Dorofeyev. He's going to travel skated this morning. He's doing much better. Has a chance for tomorrow with the news we got today, so that's encouraging. Okay. So maybe they get Dorofeyev back for Nicholas Waugh, which would be obviously an upgrade for them, but would, again, hurt their depth. And you could argue depth is what's been deciding this series for the Oilers. It's actually fascinating that like Eichel and the big guns on Vegas have had zero issues producing, and Connor and Leon are sitting there being like, ooh. I know they have 3 points in 2 games, so like again the bar's just different for them. But like, man, if it wasn't for Podkolzin and if it wasn't for, I mean, Nuge had 2 assists, second line, like
Nurse got a goal, Wallman. Something interesting that was happening in my head the other day.
Okay.
After the game.
Yeah.
So, obviously a missed call. You would think that, like, the refs going into the next game will see that be like, gotta make it up in a way. But then for Vegas to come out in the media and publicly be like, they missed a call.
Well, apparently Mark Stone
counters it in a way.
Apparently Mark Stone skated by the officials after, and like banged his stick on the glass and was like, that's on you.
I was trying to find that too. And it's like, what do you mean that's on you? You missed glorious opportunities in that overtime where Calvin Pickard robbed you. And again, the others hit the post twice. Like, I don't know. It's hard. You can't put a win or loss. It's not like the Oilers scored on that play. I don't know how long after it ended up being, but like, who's to say you score on that power play anyway? You know what I mean?
You know, like, I mean, hey, if you want to get into something else, what the... I'll say it. What the fuck was going on with the power play, boys?
Yeah,
How is their power play so bad on the road?
Bad game to put $15 on every power play.
Oh my God, I forgot I did that.
Yeah, the 3 of us did that.
Yeah, that was tough. The Hyman one would have been huge too, because it would have been like 2 seconds left on the power play.
Yep.
And he was 5:25, so that was just made up for all of it. But you guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
Power play is like 5 for 6 on home ice, so decent bet.
Yeah,
But
someone wanted to, sorry, it went by. If you can scroll up as I'm saying this.
Sure.
Someone wanted us to talk about Thomas Hurdle. Obviously, he fell on Calvin Pickard.
Oh, yeah.
Injured him a little bit. Only part of the series he's been relevant so far. He's kind of fallen off.
got eye sticking in
I
one.
just I don't know. I didn't see that as anything. I think Pickard was at the top of his crease. Hurdle was battling with Kulak. Kulak nudged him into Pickard and coincidental contact, I guess you could say. I don't know. I didn't see it as anything. Unless you see it a different way, please let me know.
I do like again, we've had Ken Bolke on from Sin Bin Vegas. I don't know if we've ever had Jesse Granger on from The Athletic. And I totally understand that, like, when you cover a team, you're going to naturally sway one way. But calling Evander Kane running into Aiden Hill like the dirtiest thing imaginable.
Did someone say that?
Granger, I think, had.
Oh, my goodness. He was, what? He didn't even leave his feet.
He was going for the buck.
Yeah.
I know. Again, like, that's maybe a 2-minute interference call.
That's not dirty. He's
got an
going for the
interference
puck.
call.
Yeah,
He
they
got
called
called
him
for
for goal
interference.
interference. Like,
Okay, then Zach Whitecloud jumping him from behind and punching
I
him in
think
the head on
Kane
the ice.
Reese just
is
said
also
it too.
dirty.
Just lost track of where he was on the ice, and
Because
then
he
went,
was
"Oh
looking-
shit, there's
Yeah.
the goal."
Yeah, he was
Like-
looking up. I don't know.
sorry, the tweet from
see it like
Jesse,
that.
and again, like, I say Oilers shit all the time. That is dumb and reactionary, and not even to say dumb. That's probably too harsh. But like he said, what a dirty play by Evander Kane. Skates into the crease full speed and hits Hill, who was well within the blue paint. I don't think he was skating full speed either.
No, I don't think he was skating full speed. I
yeah,
think
and the
he's
puck
also
was up in
looking
the
at
air.
Puck. Yeah, no, I didn't see it like that, Jesse. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it that way either. And then obviously, yeah, the even up because he got jumped in the crease. Like, again, if you're Vegas there, your power play has been so good.
Yeah.
You know 4-on-4 is something that favors the Oilers. Like, you could just not go punch him in the head.
Yeah, agreed.
You'd get a power play.
There was a funny play, and Potter just McDavid had Stone as a backpack in that overtime, and people were like calling that a dirty play on Stone as well. I was like, well, McDavid fumbled the puck, stopped, and Stone was it.
Yeah.
It was arguably an interference call on McDavid.
On McDavid. I thought they were. I was dead convinced. When
I
that
thought so,
happened.
too.
I was like, an arm. Like, again, NHL officiating, as much as it's terrible, it's also quite often predictable. Like, Aaron, I turned to you after the Oilers took those first 2 penalties, which were 1,000% penalties. But I turned to you and I was like, man, this makeup call right away is gonna hit like crack. Like, it's you knew they were getting the next power play. If you could bet on it,
Yeah.
I'd retire and bet on it and just
then
bet on that.
They had a great chance to do it, and they didn't do it. So what do we know?
Yeah, fair enough. You got me there. You got me there.
They'll get him next game. Don't worry, Vegas.
Ah.
We'll have 5. We'll have 2. We'll still score. I'll score you.
Got to keep taking it one game at a time.
Yeah.
Job's not finished.
Job's not finished.
One step at a time. There's no need to rush.
2-0 feels great. 2-1,
box.
I'm scared. Actually, no, 2-1 would still be okay.
Why?
Just have to win on Monday.
I figure no one.
Oh, God, but if you lose on Saturday and Monday.
God, I
Don't
have
do
had
this.
enough of this side of you. Unbelievable. You should have heard what he said before the show.
I was spiraling in overtime. When the game went to overtime, I'm like, well, they're pretty much down 3-1 in the series now. Like, I was cooked.
Tyler was a nervous wreck yesterday in OT. I went up to him before to try and shake your hand.
Yeah, I
and
wouldn't
you're
touch
basically
you.
just like, fuck off, get
Yeah.
away from me. And watching you during, you're just like all over the place. You're pacing legs.
Yep.
Oh,
I didn't even play
the.
the football game at Greta during the intermission. I was too nervous. Couldn't do it.
Oh,
My fiance Amber was there. Wouldn't even speak to her. Whatever, man. It's the playoffs. Shit happens.
It's another Thursday.
All right, let's continue along with the show. Second guest of the day, Star Mechanical Guest Line. Once again, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You know them, you love them. 24/7 emergency service. When you need them, they're there. Star Mechanical. Very excited for this next guest. Dan Tencer, Director of Scouting for the Saskatoon Blades, joins us. Also, Oilers guy. Okay, Dan, I have 2 intros here. One of them, I was just going to say Director of Scouting and host of Inside Sports and was a member of 630 Ched. Covered the Oilers from 2006 till 2014. The other one might make you feel old. The guy I grew up listening to on my way home from Oilers games.
Yeah, thank you for that. I felt pretty old yesterday because the WHL Prospects Draft was yesterday and Colin Fraser's son was selected in the Western Hockey League draft, and I covered Colin when he played for the Oilers back in the day. And if I can do one intro here as well, listening to you guys the last few minutes, I covered a season, Chuck, where they won 25 games. So don't you dare start bitching about maybe they'll be down 2-1 in a playoff series after Saturday, okay? It's going to be all right. This is a good time to be watching the Oilers.
Yeah, it is a fantastic time. It's really never a dull moment, especially with the way these games are going right now. But yeah, you covered the team. Basically, you got the heart of the decade of darkness through all of this. But now you're back to, is it fair to say like you're back to being just an Oilers fan? Like that transition back? Like I see you tweeting during the games. You're riding the wave like any other fan would.
Absolutely. It's a full-on roller coaster. Like even last night in overtime, I'm pacing around the establishment where we're watching the game and everybody's looking at me like I've got three heads. And I actually wasn't I wasn't ready to celebrate the overtime goal because it went in and out so fast that like both teams are off the ice before they showed a replay. And I'm like, I'm not giving out any high fives until I see the replay and verify that puck went in the net. But yeah, I mean, I ride the roller coaster like everybody else, the same way that I did growing up watching the team when they were playing Dallas all those years in the mid to late 90s. And so yeah, it's for me, I obviously do hockey for a living with my day job, but this is kind of my hobby hockey, and yeah, I'm right into it for sure.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, and you kind of said when we were messaging before this, you're like, oh, it should be a polarizing one in the chat when we bring you on. But I think part of it is like, and we get it, again, very early in our infancy of talking about this team every day, but like Trent Frederick, for example, good Lord, when he wasn't playing, you would have thought, based on my Twitter mentions, that like I was the guy who called in the trade and did it all. And then injured him myself. But like, I feel like part of it for you, like you got an unfair rap because you had to talk about a dog shit hockey team and be honest about it. Like that's not your fault. You had to be negative because everything on the ice was negative.
Yeah, it was a difficult time for sure. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm full marks for some of that polarizing feedback back in the day. Like I wasn't exactly Mr. Flowery to engage with on some of those nights, and certainly in the infancy of Twitter. You know, and you have to remember too. Like I still like to think of myself as kind of young, but I turned 40 next year. I was 21, 22, 23 years old doing that job, and you know a typical post-game night would be for me like a lot of the people who'd go to the game. I'd wrap up the show and then I'd go to the pint and close it down, and then I'd wake up in the morning and do it all over again. So, you know, that was kind of the stage of my life as well. So if I'm standing there at the pint at 1:30 in the morning and, you know, not wanting to go up and talk to any members of the opposite sex, I would just stare at my BlackBerry and fire off replies to tweets. And, you know, some of that, like for instance, this is a good for instance, actually, on the Twitter thing. I would love to retweet my appearance on this show right now, but I can't because I'm blocked from the Oilers Nation account.
Oh,
no. So again, I'm probably 100% full marks for that once upon a time, but, yeah, it was a tough time. Like, and being a rights holder at that time was a difficult airspace because you knew what you were watching and you couldn't always say it as bluntly as you wanted to.
As a thank you for doing this, officially unblocked Aaron and followed, unblocked and followed.
You just got the follow, baby. We're
look
back.
At this. We are righting historical wrongs.
This is huge. I had a moment exactly like this with Elliot Friedman at the draft in Nashville last year too. Same exact conversation at the pool bar one day. So I appreciate it, guys.
So how did you transition into being a scout? Like how long have you been with the Blades for?
Yeah, so I mean the real easy answer for that is I got fired from the radio. So I mean that was step one. I had transitioned out of sports on Ched and into a current affairs show, and I think, you know, suffice it to say it didn't go the way that they were hoping it would, and that happens sometimes in the business. And certainly that was in kind of the early years of the business really starting to downsize in mainstream media, unfortunately. And I had started to scout with the Blades part-time. They are owned by an ownership group that's based out of Edmonton. And, you know, I had a relationship with those guys going back, predating that. I had started to scout part-time. And, you know, then there was a pretty significant period of time where I was getting paid to do nothing. And I figured let's let's watch more hockey. Let's scout. Might as well do it. I like being around the rink, and it went well, and has sort of transitioned. And I think that was yesterday was the 11th draft that I led as their director of scouting, and I guess the rest is history.
Well, if you ever have any inside information, you can trust us, because one of us definitely doesn't work for the Penticton Vs. One of us is definitely not another WHL employee, right?
Totally. Yes.
That's an exciting time for our league. I mean, it's fantastic to see Penticton come into the league, and I think, probably looking to do a little bit more expansion in the near future. But I mean, those guys are going to do a great job. It's a fantastic market. I've been going to Penticton every year for years, starting with the Oilers Young Stars game and then going to the Canadian Sports School Hockey League Championships every year for, the last 12, 13 years. And I mean, it's going to be, it's tremendous to have that market in our league now. It's going to be fantastic.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about this Oilers team and this run, because, I mean, last night was a game where, I mean, almost similar to a couple of the wins against LA, where you sit there at the end of the night and you're like, well, they were the worst team for the majority of that game, but son of a bitch, they found a way to win. This year's run compared to last year's run, I feel like last year when they won, it was like, bang, they played great, A+ stuff, electric victory. This year, there's a bit more of like a stumble, fumble, holy shit, they won the hockey game. Like, it gives it, as much as this is maybe cliche, more of a, as my whiteboard says behind me, a team of destiny vibe. But what do you make of comparing the way they're winning this year to the way they were winning last year?
It's interesting because, what I said to somebody last night is the team this year is way more mature than I am. Like, I watched the games, and at every point in every game of this playoff run, every single one, it's like, shit, turn the TV off. We're screwed. There's no chance we're going to win this hockey game. Like, it just sort of, there are those moments in the games, and thankfully, the maturity of the team and the coaching staff and all the rest of it, they clearly don't feel that. They clearly feel like, okay, well, shit went wrong for 5 minutes, or we're down 2-0, or we blew a lead, or, whatever the situation is. And they just find a way to claw back. And part of that is that they can throw a lot of guys on the ice right now that are going to do something for them. They'd be in a huge amount of trouble if they were falling behind in these games and needed two guys to climb the mud of it. Like the year that, Draisaitl had, 32 points or whatever in the first two rounds. Like, if they were relying on that from their top two guys, they'd be toast. But you can throw Janmark or Brown or Kane or Frederick or any of those guys out there, and they're going to give you something right now. The back end's playing really well. And then obviously the goaltending. I mean, let's be clear about what happened last night. Adin Hill sucked. Calvin Pickard didn't suck. Like, that's what the game comes down to. I bet you Vegas right now wishes they had a backup goalie that was playable. Adin Hill has been abysmal in the playoffs so far. You watch his body language after the goals last night, and that's one of the things I watch in young goalies is their body language, their ability to reset mentally, because bad goals are going to happen. Goals are going to go in. Adin Hill last night on at least two of the goals, his body language was horrendous after. And he's getting beat from everywhere in all different ways. So, I mean, that's obviously a huge thing that's swinging this series right now. But, I mean, back to your question, to me, the maturity of the group and their ability to just kind of keep playing is something that's very, very difficult to come by.
There seems to have been this idea that Calvin Pickard has, such a short leash on him. Like, he can't make a mistake now. But that is surely out the window now, right? This is just has to be his team.
Absolutely. I think I can't imagine. I mean, he could have, and obviously knock on wood here, he could have a terrible game tomorrow. I still don't think there's any question that you go back with him on Monday. And I think there's a couple of things there. I think his battle level is significant. I think the team feeds off of it. It's not always pretty with Calvin. Everybody's pointed that out. But he's able to battle through and give you extremely timely saves, especially late in hockey games. So, for Calvin right now, I look, and the other thing is too, like, Pickard's an unbelievable story. And I hope, there have been stories like this in the past. I would love nothing more than see him lift the Stanley Cup at the end of all of this as some kind of once in a lifetime type deal. But, the other part of it is, do you have any confidence in Stu? Like, are you really running to throw him back into the net? Like, I think for me, the first couple games of the LA series, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's a guy I need to see in an Oilers jersey again. You know, he's had a tremendous amount of runway as a goalie. And so to me, it's not just about Pickard. And I think the team loves playing for him and all the rest of that. It's that I personally, just me as a fan, and maybe this is unfair, they put Stu back in the net and I'm scared to watch.
I think that's I think that's
it's
fair.
fair.
The only thing I'd lean on with Stu is like you can point to last year when he got the crease back. Granted, he got it back after 2 games, not after 2 rounds, but he got the crease back and he played really, really well. He was excellent in games 6 and 7 against Van. Obviously, we know about Dallas. Even the Florida numbers when they were down 3-0, his numbers were actually okay. Like, he did rebound well last year, but I do think it's a bit of a different context this season with how long now he's been on the sideline. And the other thing too is against LA, I was like, you can't put him in net in LA again because that crowd was eating him alive and he was smirking back at them. It was a mess. I'd actually be more nervous to put him back in net on home ice in this series if you had to, because I'm like, man, if it goes bad, this crowd would turn on him.
Yeah, I think, you know, and I'm not saying he couldn't do it. Obviously, he could. He's a talented goalie. I just worry. Yeah, I guess I just worry at this point. It's been so clear that Pickard has become the guy, and he's gone on this run that I don't know. I'd give him a long leash. I truthfully, I would. I would see no reason to hurry back to Skinner and net. I think it would have to be 2 losses on home ice to do it. There would just be no way that I would start him on Monday, start Stu on Monday, no matter what. I mean, maybe shy of if you had to hook Pickard 10 minutes into the game on Saturday and Stu was lights out for 50 minutes, maybe he shows you something there. But again, part of this whole mental maturity, battle level, composure, clutch plays at the right time, all those narratives, that's coming from inside the goal crease too. And you know, for me, the leash on picks would be pretty long right now.
Do you want to do your thing? But we have a question in the chat, and it's a Blades question from a Blades fan.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's do
I'll ask that one first.
If there's a Blades fan in the chat, we got to give him their question.
He just asked, can you tell us a little bit about your first round pick this year?
Yeah, our first round pick, Kane Martinuk. We were extremely excited to get Kane. I think he's a guy whose name you're probably going to hear about for a long time. In my years doing it, we've been much more likely to trade back as a team than to trade up. And when he started to fall on the board yesterday, it's just one of those things. You know, it's a good draft class and teams like certain players, and Kane started to slide a little bit, but you know, I was down in Detroit and I was watching a game with Colby Armstrong probably 3 weeks ago because his son was drafted in the prospects draft this week as well. Cruz, who was playing at Mount St. Charles, but was watching a game with him, and Martinuk scored a hat trick, I think, in 51 seconds. Power forward, goal scorer, dynamic, like just one of those guys that when he's on the ice, if he decides he wants to score, he's going to give himself a really good chance to do it. So I think for us, we're really excited to get an impact power forward goal scorer, a guy who will play right away when he's 16, and I think make a pretty big impact for us. So we were very excited.
I'm loving that in the YouTube chat there are people who are also like, I remember calling in to argue with Dan about Matthew Guerin and like all the memories people have. But what was the craziest thing you were live for? I'm trying to think back to then, like what were some of the big stories that may have broken like while you were on the air? But was there anything that's still in your head? Like man, I will never forget like reading that and like my jaw being on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few. I don't know. I mean, I could tell lots of stories. Like you remember the night that Taylor Hall got hurt, the first injury that he had? I was on the Sportsnet panel that evening, and it was sort of an innocuous play, but I went on in the intermission and I said, you know, that there had to be some kind of response from the Oilers. You know, they needed to go out and they needed to throw the hammer down. And I guess at that time, the GM, Kevin Lowe, I guess he saw that on his screen up on the catwalk, and he took that as me calling the team soft. And I didn't witness it, but I got an email on my BlackBerry from Alan Walsh, who was director of communications at that time, and he was like, lock your door and stay away from Kevin. So I just sat there in the oil drum for the rest of the game, And when I went out afterwards, the security guy was like, "That was crazy, hey?" And I was like, I don't know. He's like, "Yeah, Kevin was like trying to get in. He was like really wanting to come at you." I was like, "Oh, that's really good." And then the other one was it became apparent late in the season. Craig McTavish's last season became apparent late in the year that Craig was going to resign, or they were going to part ways, or it was going that direction. And Bob and I were talking about it on the air, and Daryl Cates had texted Bob and said, the quote, "Mac T isn't going anywhere." And stupid me in a commercial break, I was like, "You know what? Why don't you ask DK if we can read that on the air?" And boy, the management sure didn't like that when we read that on the air. And I'm kind of going like, I don't know, the owner texted, said we could read it, but that was they had to do a press conference after the game, and Kevin was mad again. But I mean, it for the most part, it was tons of fun. Like, all those guys are great. I love chatting with Kevin. Steve Tambellini was really, really mad at me when I called Rolison to Habibulin a lateral move. There's lots of stuff like that, lots of stuff from players back in the day, and but it was a ton of fun. Obviously, growing up as an Oilers fan, it was great. Aside from they never won any hockey games, that part kind of sucked. But in terms of like crazy stuff that happened live, it was almost all involving anybody who remembers going to games at the old building. If you were going down into the club section, you had to go down, walking down the stairs or down the escalator, and right at the bottom was what we called back then, it called it the oil drum, but it was basically a glass enclosed broadcasting booth. So the first thing you see coming down the escalator is me and Bob and Rob Brown or Reed or whoever it was at the time. And not so much at the start of games, but certainly after games, when there was a certain amount of inebriation that had taken place, there were a lot of uncovered body parts and other such things. And, you try to broadcast through that, but you almost, you had to do it with your eyes shut for minutes at a time here and there. So yeah, there were lots of things I can't unsee from being in that glass booth.
We're keeping you way longer than we thought we were, but this has been a lot of fun. There's one more thing I wanted to do, because I think it's unfair that someone as talented as you doesn't get to always give their take on the air like this. So I'm going to feed you 4 storylines that could happen in the next 6 months, and then we're just going to bank them for in case they happen, all right? You can just give me a quick take. Sure. I'm going to read you a hypothetical headline, all right?
Okay.
Edmonton Oilers signed Evan Bouchard to an 8-year, $10 million extension. Let's go to Dan Tencer to get his reaction.
You cannot find players like this. I completely understand that he's frustrating every now and then, but you tell me where you're going to find an 80, 85 point defenseman. And do you remember back on May 8th, that play he made against Mark Stone along the wall in game 2 of the Vegas series? If he can find that defensive game and be a plus every night, he's going to be worth every penny.
Oh, wow. This one coming in and it's big. Wow. The Edmonton Oilers have just traded Evan Bouchard for Jeremy Swayman. Dan?
Shit. I don't know how on earth Jeremy Swayman is going to survive in this market. Everything that I have heard about him and am aware of him, he is mentally not the kind of guy you want to take on a Stanley Cup run in a city like Edmonton. I think, I think he'll be lucky if he can recover from his hurt feelings and that arbitration hearing once upon a time. And I don't like that move at all.
All right. And the last one, I mean, it was picturesque, Liam, on the stage at the parade in downtown Edmonton. Connor McDavid signed his 8-year, $15 million extension. Dan, your thoughts?
How lucky are we to have a couple of Hall of Famers stay in Edmonton, want to stay in Edmonton forever. It's something that no other generation of fan has seen. Last generation saw more wins and more cups, but with these big boys staying, how lucky are we to be able to witness that and be a part of a team in a city that's at the top of the NHL heap in terms of where players want to play.
Yeah, I haven't seen this level of commitment since Eric Belanger said he asked for that third year, Dan. He wanted it.
Eric Belanger was a real treat too, by the way. Like that was, you want a good story about Eric Belanger? He was ready to fight Nail Yakupov after you remember the wild celebration of that goal? They practiced in Leduc the next morning, and he still hadn't let it go. And it's, whatever, like, you're not going to say anything at the time, but I remember just looking at him and going, like, this team never wins any games. Like, can we just have some fun? Like, I don't know. That was pretty fun. You won a game last night. The celebration was cool. Like, lighten up. It was like Patrick O'Sullivan, like back in those, like, he never saw a game that he liked. He was just one of those guys that was miserable to be here. And that was, there were a few guys that came through back in those days that were miserable to be in Edmonton, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
Dan, really appreciate your time. Thank you for doing this. The 25 minutes, however long we had you, flew by. So we'll have you on again. Maybe in the summer, we'll do some story time.
Guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
There you go.
Dan.
Dan Tencer. That was awesome.
That was fun.
And he's pro Bouchard, so he fits right in.
I do love that you obviously made those as like a joke headline, and someone putting that Bouchard would make 60 points on any other team in the league. It's like, come on.
People are mad at my hypothetical Bouchard extension.
Yeah.
That's not like our chat.
I know, that is unusual.
We have a lot that we still need to get to today on the show.
I have to go to the bathroom so bad.
Well, do you want to go while I do an ad?
Sure.
All right. Dan Tencer was not only on the Star Mechanical guest line, but he was also brought to you. Don't walk in front of me.
I even went to the solo for the exact reason.
Brought to you by Tourism Jasper. This summer, find your happy place in Jasper. From hiking trails, paddling wild waters, or sharing laughs by the fire, happiness finds you here. Jasper is open, vibrant, and ready to welcome you back for more unforgettable moments. Your best summer memories aren't behind you. They're waiting for you this summer in Jasper. Plan your trip at jasper.travel/summer. Let's get into what's going on tonight in the NHL and, kind of this weekend. Let's get to your menu. It's brought to you by the Ninja Crispy 4-in-1 Portable Glass Air Fryer.
Meet the Ninja Crispy Portable Cooking System. The power of a full-sized air fryer in the palm of your hand.
The Ninja Crispy 4-in-1 Portable Glass Air Fryer includes 4-quart, 6-cup Tupperware glass containers and 2 storage lids. It's thermal shock resistant and can go from frozen to crispy in just minutes. With the Crispy Power Pod, you get the power of a full-sized air fryer in the palm of your hands. The 4-quart container can even fit up to 4 pounds of chicken or veggies, and you can cook a personal-sized meal in 7 minutes in the 6-cup container. Prep, cook, and store anything from crispy favorites to one-dish meals. Visit their website in the link in our description and stay tuned because we're going to be giving one away to one of our lucky listeners. The menu, as we wait for Liam. Tonight, Stanley Cup playoff action, Florida-Toronto. That series in a real, somehow crazy way. I want to say it comes down to tonight. But also, if any team's going to blow a 3-0 lead in the Stanley Cup playoffs, it'll be the Toronto Maple Leafs. So maybe the series doesn't come down to tonight, but it shifts back to Florida. Puck drop 5 o'clock, and then at 7:30, Dallas and Winnipeg. Winnipeg, all of a sudden, facing some pressure. They trail 1-0 in a series that they started with at home. Well, close the door. People don't need to know how close Aaron sits to our washroom.
It's shockingly close.
Yeah, it's very, very close. You just walk. Well, now it happened already.
All right, back to the show.
Does Florida win tonight?
Yes.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think they bounce back. They're massive favorites too. It's crazy.
I think it was
Like minus 260.
Whoa.
seems a bit ridiculous.
A little aggressive if you ask me.
Okay, I'm on Leafs money line. Let's go then.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they're 2-0. Bobrovsky has stunk.
So if they're minus 250. What are the Leafs to just cover the puck line?
Go Leafs.
Reverse puck line.
They're minus 135 to cover the puck line. That's a decent.
That's interesting.
This weekend, by the way, if you were wondering why Oilers and Golden Knights is starting at 7 o'clock on Saturday, it's because the only other game, Washington, Carolina, is starting at 4. So they're getting things going nice and early. Edmonton.
Finally.
Vegas. Aaron loves it.
I need that.
Yeah. Well,
I'll be up still.
Yeah,
I'll be up still.
like if they win on a Saturday night, you're not going to be at Greta till 1 a.m.
Oh, no, I will be.
Yeah.
Till 2 a.m.
I'll be there too. Shout out to our friends at Greta. I had a great time last night. The guy who pushes the little cart, we'll talk about this more on O&R. The guy at Oilers games who pushes the little cart, his name's Scott, and does the Jaeger fireball. He was there, sat by him for the game, gave him lots of high fives, did 2 shots of Jaeger with him, as you do.
He was a beauty.
Yeah, he was a real beauty. All right. What else do we have to do? That was the menu. Brought to you by... well, we also have to say that our playoff coverage is brought to you by Boston Pizza. This year, we bring it home. 2 Canadian teams have a 2-0 lead in the second round of the playoffs. This is the first time in how long? 3 have even made it this far. Is there a chance we get 2 Canadian teams in the conference finals? We're halfway there with Boston Pizza. We want to manifest it. Plan that parade. Have your superstitions. Why not? That's what the playoffs are all about with BPs. This year, we bring it home. What's Trending is brought to you by Douglas Mattress. I sleep like a baby on my Douglas, regardless of if I had a couple of beers or a couple of shots. I still sleep good. I absolutely love my mattress. Been sleeping on it for 2 years. Big shout out to Douglas. You can get yours today, douglas.ca/nation. Great value starting at just $599. Free shipping across Canada with their convenient mattress in a box delivery as well. They use eco-conscious materials, and they're a local company that started right here in Edmonton, and they've grown to be one of the most popular brands in all of Canada. More than 250,000 Canadians own a Douglas. You can too. Douglas.ca/nation. Ken Holland back in the mix.
Yeah, with the LA Kings, which is kind of funny.
I mean, I'm all in on it.
Yeah, like, and I think Colin did a good job here. I would like to throw that in too, but like, he'll make some deals for them if that's who he becomes. Dave Tippett will probably be the new head coach.
That would be funny.
That would be nice. Interesting choice by LA. You'd think they'd be like the team that would want to have like a new approach to things, like a younger GM and everything, but clearly not. I don't even know who were like the other candidates. I just saw I think Freeman said that Holland was going to be one. I think
he interviewed on Long Island as well. I think what
did.
happens is he gets the Poho job on Long Island, and they hire a young GM underneath him.
I think that's a wise idea.
Kind of like what Vancouver did.
Yeah. But I don't think Holland's as outspoken as Rutherford. I think Holland really does prefer to sit behind the scenes and not say a word, which we saw. Like, he did not want to fire coaches. Was Tippett the first coach he fired mid-season?
Yeah.
And then he had to do it again with Woodcroft. Yeah.
Take Woody out back. Yeah. Poor guy. Wonder if Woody gets a job. Finalist in Anaheim. We talked about that the other day, though.
Yeah. Quintel did his interview yesterday. I didn't really watch it fully yet, but I'm sure
he read a very long prepared statement at the beginning.
Yeah, which is expected.
Yeah. Clay Day has begun.
Clay Day has begun. I got up early this morning, started shoveling some clay into a wheelbarrow and wheeling it around the front. So the rest of the guys are coming over tonight to clear it. I cleared quite a bit of it already, actually, which is good. I'm worried about the grass underneath, so I might be asking some grass tips on Monday.
Yeah, I could probably help you.
Yeah.
I think you want to go nitrogen, heavy fertilizer in the spring, potassium in the winter.
Are we still in the spring?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I think you want to go nitrogen.
Well, I'm going to have to get that claim moved pretty quick then.
Yeah, get on that. Bill Belichick's girlfriend is causing problems.
Yeah, she is.
Even when you're in your late 60s, man.
She is allegedly, but then unallegedly, been banned from the North Carolina facility. No, she's not banned.
She's not banned.
Are you standing up for this?
I am pro Bill Belichick in any
like,
way, shape, or form. He is my king. He's my GOAT. This is tough. Don't get me wrong. But I will blindly keep saying I love him and support him. I'm a Jordan guy too then. Come on. She's getting a bad rap.
Well,
she's nuts. She's nuts.
Oh, she is a crazy person. Yep.
Jeez.
Bill's just an old man.
Lil Wayne chimed in on the officiating last night. Wheezy F baby, and the F is for finish the Golden Knights. Unfortunately a bar. But here's what Lil Wayne had to say last night. Knights just got robbed. I can't believe that.
Could be about anyone.
I just love that he's like, again, 1 a.m. Eastern, wherever Lil Wayne lives, and he's like watching the Oilers.
He might live in Vegas. Yeah, did not see this one coming. Did not. Lil Wayne, I haven't heard a lot from him recently.
Nope. When was the last time? Oh, you know what I did? Like, I'll be totally honest. I unironically got back into that one album Lil Wayne put out when he tried to do like rock music.
Oh, I know that one.
It was
I'm gonna pick the world up and
that was like even one of the more rappy songs. Like there was one song on that one. Rebirth is what it was called. Rebirth, his rock album.
Is that the song "How to Love"? Did he have that on that?
No.
That was on a different one.
That was OG. That was old Lil Wayne.
Not really. Like
he has a residency in Vegas.
Oh, he has a residency in Vegas. What hotel?
I don't know.
Interesting. He lives in Miami. There's a lot going on here.
Prom Queen. That's
Prom Queen. Yeah.
Super rocking.
Yeah. Prom Queen, and then there's another one too. Knockout, I think, was the one I liked. Yeah, those two are the popular ones off that album, right? Like, they're not actually like that good of songs, but you play them and you're like, man, I remember listening to this when I was 13 or whatever.
And I thought it was hard.
Yeah, this bang, but like the beats are actually good on there. Could we get Ja Rule's opinion? Maynard? No, Lil Wayne is not in jail anymore.
And he,
Also, what's trending? People in the chat not liking my sweater. This is a great Q-zip.
people have been saying it.
Yeah.
Is it because it looks like it's a Vancouver Canucks team sweater?
I got it at Stewart Creek in Canmore.
This is a pro quarter zip podcast.
Yeah,
I
and
like quarter zips.
It's nice. It's got that fuzzy look that's in right now.
I'm golfing tomorrow for the first time this year,
Ooh, how you feeling?
and I'm not good,
Okay.
but also careless.
Yeah, are you like keeping your own score? Or are you doing like a little scramble thing, or what's the deal?
Oh no, well, the 1v1v1v1.
Oh yeah. Do you and your friends actually like play for money?
No,
Yeah, no, we don't either.
we play for let's have fun and make fun of Liam after he gets 30 over.
Yeah. Well, usually we'll play for like the jug of beer at the end of the round or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
we usually do something like that. We're playing over at Riverside.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
I really want to get on there.
Riverside's a good course, city course, but they maintain it very well.
Yeah. I'm playing tomorrow.
Where are you playing?
I am not 100% sure now.
You ever played Country Club? The Edmonton Country Club?
No, Jay's never invited me.
That place is awesome.
You've played it?
Twice.
Who with who?
The family friend.
I have known Jay for quite some time now. I like to think we're quite close.
He's coming to your bachelor.
He's coming on my bachelor party.
Well, he tried to get out of it, but the sounds of it
Wow, whatever.
yesterday ended up bucking himself a trip to Jasper unnecessarily.
Anyways, he's never invited me to golf with him at his club. Rude. If I had a club, I would invite Jay all the time. Also, he has a pool in his house, and he's never invited me into his pool.
Damn, he has a pool at his
Like,
house?
the fact that Jay, our leader, the guy who started and currently runs this company,
The guy that blocked Dan Tencer on Twitter.
the guy that blocked Dan Tencer on Twitter, the fact he's never had like a staff party at his pool, come on.
He's told me he would several times too. Never
I know.
done. This year's different.
Doug, you can't come.
Someone said Tyler play Quarry. I love playing the Quarry. Yeah, Doug, you can't come either.
Doug.
Hurt in Alberta and the country club is unreal. Can someone? I also really want to golf the Glendale. I want to golf the private courses in Edmonton,
I never golfed
but I don't have that
Glendale.
much money.
Which one's Is that the one under Wayne Gretzky Drive?
No, that
I want
one-
to golf that one.
That one's Highlands.
That's the one I want to do.
Tony Berar's a member there.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Tony,
He messaged me the other day. I got to message him back.
Ty, what if somebody in the chat was a member? Would you golf with them?
yes,
There you go. Chat, your move.
golf's the one
Lance,
thing.
your move.
Lance is going to set up tea time at Rundle.
Lance dropping 30 grand on a membership just to hang out with me.
Hey, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Or we just got to get our bread up.
Oh, got to talk to Jay.
All right.
Are you on the
365.
radio?
Yeah, I'm on the radio in 2 minutes. All right. This week's shows, once again,
Doug's a member of Highlands.
I need to know your real identity.
Gives your name.
It's Doug Wade. Yeah, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
okay, fair. He was on Morning Cup of Hockey today. Okay, last ad of the week. For our friends at Bet365, an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs, download the app, get in on the game. At Bet365, they got you from player props, game props, totals, money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, the Stanley Cup champion, and much more. What do you think the Oilers are on Saturday?
What do I think they are? Winners. Favorites.
Minus 135.
Oh.
So they're minus 135 to win game 3 on Saturday. To win the series, they have shifted all the way to minus 550 after opening as dogs. Woo.
Oh.
Hello.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So there you go. That's your betting talk. Get ready. Leon Draisaitl goal. I'm going to keep hammering it.
Yeah. Do you know it's disappointing I would have hit my game day bet yesterday if Jay didn't force my hand?
Oh, yeah. Your money
I
line
had
dry.
dry and money line.
I
and
just
it
keep
was
going-
plus like 600.
I keep going Dry and McDavid 2 points. Anyways.
Yeah,
Bring back Tencer again. The good old days. Yeah, we honestly will probably have Dan Tencer on again.
He was fantastic.
He was awesome. That was great.
I'm going to have to say hello to him next time I see him at the rink.
Yeah, you. Yep.
I see him all the time, and I've never muttered a word to him. Well, I don't really talk to anyone when I go there. I
Well,
just
maybe you should
go.
be more social. Maybe you could get us better guests.
I do see Curtis Hamilton all the time.
Former Oiler?
Former Oiler. He works for the Kelowna Rockets.
There you go.
Colin Fraser, I've seen a bunch. He said his son got drafted yesterday.
I'm working on Ryan Jones.
Good stuff. All right, okay, we got to wrap because I'm going to do Low Tide. Thank you for tuning in this week, everybody. This week of shows was a lot of fun. Thank you. We'll chat with you on Monday when the Oilers could be up 3-0 on the Vegas Golden Knights. Come on. See you, Greta. Oil up.